Hey guys, welcome to the Wag Station. I'm your Zero Dude, Gen Z himself. And today, I guess I have to accept it. I'm finally going to be talking about the Sonic Drift series. Nobody cares at all, do they? But I'll give the Sonic Drift series a fair chance here. I'll check out the first game first here. And the way to tell that it's an actual decent racing game is if it's not 8-bit and it's not in third person if it's in 8-bit. So, Sonic Drift is playable. I mean, this racing game is just okay. It's basically your average 8-bit third-person racing game. You're just gonna be racing and have to deal with annoying computers and have to deal with how bad the graphics are. Okay. So Sonic Drift 1 here was only ever exclusive to Japan, and then later in other regions we got it through Sonic compilations and an unlockable in Sonic Adventure DX. And I can see why. Because this game is very lacking in content. Like, sure, what were you expecting? It's a old 8-bit racing game on the Game Gear. But like, the fact that you only have 4 playable characters, which is just your typical Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Robotnik, as well with only having 6 variants of tracks, and they're all zones from Sonic 1, your Green Hill, your Marble, your Spring Yard, your Shitty Zone, your Starlight, and your Scrap Brain. That's all really lame. And I don't really have much to say about this game. The music is just okay, the gameplay is functional, and the title doesn't lie. You can in fact drift in this game, so I'm giving it that. Now Sonic Drift 2... it's better than the first game, not graphics-wise. Immediately here, wow, we got a better character selection here. We got Metal Sonic, which he should have been in the first Sonic Drift game, because Sonic Drift was made around the time of Sonic CD, which is why Amy's there. I understand why Knuckles wasn't there in Sonic Drift 1, because Sonic 3 wasn't made at the time. But come on, you could have added Metal Sonic to Drift 1. But hey, at least we got Fang too! And definitely track-wise, we got a way better selection. Sure, there's tracks based off of the zones from Sonic 2, but it also has its own original themes as well. Sure, maybe it's your typical, rip off this zone from other Sonic games, but you know what? As long as it has a different name, I'm happy! Unless if it's Splash Hill Zone from Sonic 4. But the computers here are way more annoying. They rubber band a lot more. This is kind of like a comparison between Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 64 definitely has more rubber banded computers, and same here. Sonic Drift 2 is worse than Sonic Drift 4 rubber banding computer players. But you know what? I feel like that the rubber banding here makes it a lot more of a fun experience, because this game is basically nothing because it's an 8-bit racing game. But you know what? I find it kind of fun. Plus, some of these tracks are actually memorable too. Like, of course, you got the Sonic 2 theme zones, but the one that I remember the most is the Desert Hills levels. And then you go up like on the slope on the side, and then you just do this Sonic 2 special stage half-pipe type thing. It's just honestly really impressive for the hardware that it's on, even though that's just on an angle. But I think that it shows off the Game Gear's hardware pretty well. And if it's not supposed to be a big thing, then I don't really care. I just think it looks kind of cool then. But also, some of these tracks are not just 3 laps in a row. Some of these tracks are also 1 lap and spread into different sections, just like how some tracks are in Mario Kart 7. Looks like Sega was the one to beat Nintendo to the game for section courses. Wow, what a big ordeal! But you know what, I like Sonic Drift 2 much more. It's still not really a good game because it's an 8-bit racing game in the third person. But you know what? They did fine. And also over here in North America, we got only Sonic Drift 2 on the Game Gear. And they didn't even change the title of the game. It's still called Sonic Drift 2. Which, I mean, you could have just made things confusing and called this one Sonic Drift, and then complicate things in the future with compilations. So with that, that was the Sonic Drift series. In my honest opinion, I don't really think it's that good, because it's an 8-bit racing game in the third person. But if you really have the urge to check it out, then check it out, I guess. It's just kind of a novelty at this point. And honestly, I just think that Sonic racing games that take all the Sonic characters into a car is really lame, and I want Sega to finally make a Sonic racing game that's like Sonic R again, that doesn't have crappy controls!